Let me say more about communication. Must be open but structured and conducive to the expression of thoughts and feelings. And I didn't say that in there, but thoughts and feelings, but all of those had to go around what is the goal for us at that particular meeting. I want to hear about thoughts and feelings, but in the context of what we're covering. Because otherwise, you're going to hear about thoughts and feelings, period. And goodness gracious, you're just going to, you're going to go all over the place. At least there are some people that have that tendency, others are more quiet. But communication should be open, and we need to say that. We need to have the freedom to communicate in this group. However, the expectation is that we communicate around this. So we need to put a structure to the communication. And the communication has to be an invitation for people to really share, Now, as you probably know, we men tend to be more limited in our selection of feelings. We don't have a lot of vocabulary for feelings. We're either good, bad, I'm happy, or angry most of the time, maybe sad. But we're very limited. We don't have a lot of variety. Doesn't mean that we don't have feelings, though. It speaks more about our lack of vocabulary because we normally didn't grow up in a home where we were taught what that thing that we felt meant. What was it? We were not necessarily very, very good at identifying and then communicating feelings. But we do have them. The other side is, most women tend to have an incredibly long list of feelings in ways of describing different sensations and emotions. And that's a good thing. That's a wonderful thing. But how can we keep a balance? Because we keep hearing feelings, and I see the faces sometimes of many men, like feeling like a tsunami is coming their way. It's like, oh my gosh, what is that? I never heard that before. They don't know how to deal with it. But of course, in regroup, at least not in the general meeting, but the other meetings, you are by gender. So that helps a little bit to navigate that. But at the same time, I think, how can we still keep a balance in those groups in terms of communicating those feelings and those emotions? So for instance, if you ask, okay, so what did you feel at that particular moment when that happens, whatever they said? And they say, well, I felt pretty good. Okay, and then how do you feel? What do you mean? I said that I felt good, but good is not a feeling. It's not a feeling. So, but I know that you want to communicate a very positive emotion through saying I feel good. What other label can you find? What other name can you put to it? And then that's where the group can help. Because if that individual doesn't find a label, others can kind of share some ideas of what those emotions can be. You can have some other A's, like the wheel of emotions and all that stuff. That's important. It's very important. I see emotions as the sort of the thermometer, what the temperature in our psyche is. Through emotions, you describe how much commitment somebody may have to something. Emotions can tell you how passionate someone can be about whatever, or how distant can be. So it's essential to read the emotions. Also, emotions become the agent to change. You can get to the cognition of anyone and sell an idea very well, but if that person doesn't have an emotional response to that idea, it's not going to make any difference. If it worked without the emotions, there are so many books that will make so many changes in people's life. How come they don't work? We continue to buy self-help books. There are so many. People don't change out of just reading a book. You get a great idea, and you feel a little bit excited about it, but it doesn't move farther than that. Both had to go together. The belief has to change, the emotion has to follow and fuel that change. That's why we need to navigate also emotions in the context of our work in groups, and that should be part of our communication. And believe it or not, you become like parents because a lot of these individuals, they did not have good coaching, emotional coaching at home. So you need to help them learn how to deal with these emotions as adults, which is scary to think about. How not to be explosive or completely shut down emotionally, but to find that medium that is healthy for them as they express emotions. That has to do with emotional intelligence, which can be another very good seminar. We can learn a lot about that.